But I got money in the bank, gold in the safe, 30 in the clip, I got more in my waist. Done the whole shit, I can let it go to waste. Hold up. But I got money in the bank, gold in the safe, 30 in the clip, I got more in my waist. Done the whole shit, I can let it go to waste.
This live stream may contain content that could be perceived as shocking or offensive, but it is presented solely for educational purposes. Viewer discretion is advised. We strive to adhere to community guidelines, and any potentially sensitive material is shared with the intent of fostering understanding and learning.
Yo, what's going on, peeps? It's your boy, Atypical Security Guard. I want to welcome you to today's live stream. Today, we're going to be talking about faith under fire. Church security guard draws gun on Repo. Man, I saw this story first thing when I woke up. Let's get right to the information. This is coming out of Kalamazoo, Michigan. It says a video circulating on social media this week shows a security guard pulling a gun out during a vehicle repossession attempt Sunday at a church in Kalamazoo, Michigan. U.S.C. Carter, who works for a local repossession company, says that he did not want to name that company, said he spotted a vehicle backed into a parking space Sunday morning that matches a specific and rare color. When Carter drove onto church property to check the VIN number or the plate of the vehicle in question, church security asked him to leave. He returned about 10 minutes later, according to church officials, and Carter's truck positions itself to tow the vehicle. That's when the security team made an approach and one person pulled a gun. Guys, we have a video coming via WOOD TV 8. The link is provided in the description. Let's get right to it. Here we go.
Week has some questioning if things went too far after a repossession man was held at gunpoint in a church parking lot.
News 8's Megan Bunchman has been speaking with legal experts and both parties involved all week, and she joins us now with more on this story. Megan?
Emily and Brian, leaders of Stone's Church say that they've had a volunteer security team for years now due to the uncertain times. And while the men and women who make up this team are trained, this past weekend situation was a first for all of them.
Put the gun down. Put the gun down.
A chaotic Sunday morning at Stone's Church in Kalamazoo.
You're going to jail, brother.
As a repossession worker is held at gunpoint by church security volunteers.
He was just telling me that he wasn't going to allow me to take the vehicle. He'd protect that property with his life, and he told me he was prepared to shoot me.
U.S.C. Carter told News 8 exclusively that he was just doing his job after he noticed a car with a specific and rare color of orange backed into a parking space on the south side of the building.
The guy approached me, and he just kind of, said, it's a church, man. You really going to repo from a church? And I said, I got a job to do.
Michigan statute does allow for repossession on private property as long as the truck and repossessor in question doesn't break into a structure or locked gate. Video surveillance from the church shows Carter initially leaving the open parking lot and then returning about 10 minutes later with another truck in tow.
But when they first came in the lot, we didn't know who they were.
Lead pastors Joel and Yvonne Brooks say that the church's security team is made up of volunteers. The church runs background checks on each of these individuals and provides training for these men and women frequently. In fact, their last training session was just weeks ago, and the man you see on camera pointing his weapon was in attendance.
They have them on camera leaving, and then they came back, at which point they're trespassing, and they tried to connect to the car that they actually did not have any rights to. They had the wrong car. Did they tell you that?
He did tell me that, yes.
Yeah, they had the wrong car, so at this point, they're stealing a car from our parking lot.
As things continue to escalate, both the church's security and Carter himself call police.
I'm going to call 911 right now.
After Carter says he was fearful moving his car would have spooked security and possibly led to an actual shooting.
He kept telling me to leave, go, but my truck was in park at that time. And like I said, I didn't want to make any sudden movements and give him an opportunity to say he felt threatened.
Police arrived moments later and after their initial investigation, arrested the church security man on suspicion of felonious assault.
Coming up at 6, we're sitting down with legal experts to review the chaotic footage and to learn when someone has the right to pull a weapon on another person. Brian.
All right, so that's the story. Very unfortunate for a lot of people involved. You know, the security in terms of the church. You know, they're saying that people are going through training, that they're doing background checks. You know, even I'm going to assume maybe a pastor or a deacon or someone there from the church who's talking to the news reporter. You know, he almost has this thought process that what they're doing is legal, and you have no legal right to protect your property utilizing deadly force in Michigan. You just don't. And so right there, that's a glaring example of the fact that although they are well intentioned and they're doing what they can to protect their parishioners, you know, in this time, you know, I understand that, but clearly there's a glaring gap in terms of them understanding what they can do, what they can't do legally. So it's unfortunate because the security guard, he was arrested, and more than likely he's going to be charged. This is a bad situation that, you know, just goes into the constant conversation about training. So, you know, number one, there is a huge vacuum and need for security in all churches. Primarily, you know, in the Black church, we've seen situations like what happened in Charlottesville. You know, for synagogues, for mosques, any one of the Middle Eastern situations that's going on right now, a lot of potential dangers for churches. So I'm a big proponent of church security. One of the things that I have seen, I know here in Oregon, I believe also in California, there's a lot of laws that have come down over the past couple of years that are regulating church security. I think that up until recently, churches have been able to have security teams, have private details, utilizing off-duty police officers to cover some of that security need. But in recent years, there's been a lot of laws that have come down to kind of regulate church security. If I'm not mistaken, I think in California, you have to have a private patrol operator's license. You know, your security detail has to go through state mandated training. Now, I've always been a little bit against that because I feel like people should be able to police or protect their own parishioners. But in a situation like this, you kind of see where that's needed. So there's definitely a gap in the training for the security team that's there. I understand the need for the security team. I commend their willingness to protect their people and protect the property that's on there. But it's not just about training. It's about proper training. Right? Training is important, but proper training is fundamental. Clearly, there's a lack of understanding of local laws, laws pertaining to use of force, and then the 4 firearm safety rules. You know, this person that's protecting this property, this person that's protecting that parking lot, he is not in any physical danger. There's no potential threat to his life or grave bodily damage or harm. There is absolutely no reason why he should be pointing a loaded firearm at another individual. And he is more than likely going to spend some time in prison. I don't see how he gets out of this. It's on camera. It's on surveillance footage. The victim, the tow truck driver there, he has it on his cell phone. It's clearly a news story. And this is not Washington. This is Michigan. So this is a situation where, unfortunately, a well-intended security guard is going to pay. That sounds vaguely familiar to a lot of other situations that private security guards find themselves in. I don't think that a lot of times when guards find themselves in situations where they've overdone it, where they've acted outside the scope of their employment or their work, I don't generally think that they're doing it in an effort to do something wrong. I don't think that the intention is ever negative, right? But unfortunately, you're going to be judged on your actions, not your intentions. So this is why training is so important, and knowledge of what you're doing in your job is so important. I feel really bad for this guy. For the tow truck driver, you know, I understand you're doing your job. I get it. But, you know, you have to be a little bit more careful with making sure that you're getting the right vehicle. This is something that happens all the time. I know that these tow trucks have all kinds of cameras on them. A lot of them have a lot of exterior microphones specifically for this situation. People don't want to have their property taken. I think that tow truck drivers probably have firearms pulled on them, people attempting to fight them, trying to take the car or the vehicle off the rack. I get it. But a lot of that could be avoided, and a lot of that could be mitigated by making sure that you have the right damn property. This could have gone badly, and it's a mistake that started ultimately with the tow truck driver. Your desire to get the win, your desire to get the hitch, you put yourself in a bad situation because you weren't sure that that was the right vehicle, and ultimately it wasn't the right vehicle. The thing that I think is the most damaging about this story is that ultimately, guys, this is going to have an impact on the private security industry, right? So I've told you about California changing their laws. I believe that Oregon has done the same. A situation like this, once it hits the news, once it hits the airwaves, it hits social media, this is something that is going to be ripe for states and governing boards to jump all over. So just, rest assured that there's going to be more oversight, more intrusion, more rules and regulations that are going to come down for private security, definitely in Michigan. But don't be shocked if you don't see something like what's happening in California in terms of their security laws for churches to be picked up in other areas, right? Like they say, as goes California, goes the rest of the country. Every time, and I can't stress this enough, guys, every time that we in private security make an individual mistake, it has a ripple effect across the entire industry. Unlike any other industry out there, if I don't want to go down the road of getting into the law enforcement, conversation, but unfortunately for private security, every single time that one of us does something stupid, it has a ripple effect for the entire community. This is why I'm so adamant about, talking about training, talking about education, trying to get you guys to understand the importance of de-escalation, not responding or reacting too quickly, because these situations in and of themselves, each individual situation, it ultimately has a ripple effect for all of us. So one of the things that we can do to mitigate that is training, right? So I wanted to share with you guys that my first online training course is now available. The link is in the description. Let me pull this out. I just want to share this with you guys real quick, okay? So it's Security Guard Training Academy. Everything is going to be online. And what I'll be doing is putting out products and putting out training courses that you guys can do right on your phone. I'm really excited about this. Let me pull this up here. So if you go to the link and you click on the first course, which is 21st Century Report Writing, you click on that. It's going to bring you right into here. I'll just show you guys real quick the course curriculum. You've got a couple of quizzes in here. There's a couple of videos, a lot of information. I believe that there's 15 lessons that are on here. There's an exercise for a use of force report writing. There's a course final. I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very proud of this product. I think that I have produced something that is going to be very beneficial to you guys. And I'm looking to put many more courses onto this program. It took me a while to figure out the platform to utilize and the best way to get these courses out, but I'm very happy with the information. I think it's going to be very, very beneficial to you guys. Hey, at the very least, click the link and take a look at it. Just look at the course information. If you're interested, try it out. I think you guys are going to be very impressed with what I've created. And I think that this is a great opportunity for me to help kind of bridge this gap of information that we're clearly seeing throughout the security industry. Training is key. Now, I want to know what you guys think. Do you feel that this security guard in this situation, was he in the right? Does he have a right to protect the property that is on that site, that's at that location? Was he in the right to pull that firearm to stop the illegal repossession, which at that time would have been theft, of a vehicle of one of those parishioners? What do you guys think? Share your comments in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on that. As always, if you're interested, please check out bonesandbrewsecuritygear.com. Support our platform by buying a security-based t-shirt or a morale patch. I truly do appreciate it. And if you feel that the videos that we're putting out are beneficial to you guys, like, share, and subscribe. Bring other people to the platform. As always, if you're working today, please be safe, watch your back, watch your six, and as always, be great. All right? You guys be great. Take care.
But I got money in the bank, gold in the safe, 30 in the clip, I got more in my waist. Done the whole shit, I can let it go to waste. Hold up. But I got money in the bank, gold in the safe, 30 in the clip, I got more in my waist. Done the whole shit, I can